Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Virgo sun signs, or if you have significant Virgo placements in your chart and are needing a masculine energy to work with or balance within yourself, then this reading is for you. So Virgo, I haven't pulled the cards yet. I want to do that on camera together. I was getting kind of this energy of like a mentor or somebody that you perhaps look up to or admire in whatever way that is. I feel like is going through a major transformation, and I think that it may also be affecting you as well. Even if you perhaps are not aware of what that is, like they haven't communicated that to you perhaps. It's just coming through like I'm kind of getting that you may be experiencing sort of like a lot of strange occurrences is kind of how it's coming through, especially in relation to a particular, I'm going to say it's a mentor, but it doesn't necessarily have sort of like a teacher vibe. It feels more like they perhaps are teaching you something, but it feels more familiar than just like a teacher or a mentor. I hope that makes sense. And I feel like there is like admiration or respect there. It feels like though that they're going through perhaps a transformation that they aren't necessarily communicating to you, but you may be receiving downloads about that, if that makes sense. So it could be feeling like just being aware of, especially if you're like receiving any downloads about or like perhaps you're like seeing synchronicities, or it could even be coming through like like media of any sort, like books or the news or movies that you're watching or whatever. But that might be actually giving you downloads or insight about this mentor. I'm just going to keep calling it that. Anyways, that's just one message coming through, but I will pull the cards. So for Virgos, overall energy. Peace. That's really nice. Peace. I feel like there's something, so this card talks to me, well, of course, peace is like your overall energy, but it feels like the dove with the olive branch, right? Like a sign of land ahead is how it's coming through. Like a sign, like a symbol. So it's like, I feel like if you've been in sort of like a difficult period as well, because I've been getting sort of this energy of like water damage is just how it's coming through, like an overabundance of water, or perhaps water that has been it doesn't feel like stagnant water. It just feels like there's a lot of water. I don't know exactly, so it could be emotions as well, like, but it could be causing sort of like making something like that's stable and structure become less stable. Is that, if that makes sense? It's like changing some aspect of stability is how it's coming through. I was seeing, especially in terms of the water damage aspect of like if you know, like plants when they get sort of root rot, where it's like there's too much water that's not draining properly. That's sort of how it's coming through. So it's kind of like the roots get damaged if they're sitting in water for a long time. It's that kind of thing. That's sort of how it's coming through. But, and especially because it's coming through, like this symbol is coming through as being like Noah's Ark. There's something here about a sign of that water starting to drain is how it's feeling to me. It's a symbol of that. Someone may also be seeing, well, it's Pride Month, so rainbows might be a significant symbol for you. And then fear. That's really interesting. Okay. And caution at the bottom of the deck. Okay, we're gonna get more cards on that fear aspect. So I feel like perhaps there is a big transition ahead that may be causing fear. Perhaps there's like a lot unknown about it, or that there's maybe like a significant step forward. Or it could also be something like perhaps there's sort of like a worry about what you might find there is how it's coming through, especially if it's like the metaphor of like Noah's Ark after sort of like a flood, right? It's kind of like once they get back onto land, it's like there's something about like a worry about what the conditions would be. It's kind of coming through like that. What the conditions of the land will be, or like what, like how much damage has been done, like that kind of thing. There might be fear about that. If there is, though, I don't know if there is. So I feel like perhaps for you, Virgo, there's a bit of caution. Like that's your overall energy, the context. So you're in a period of caution, maybe. Perhaps you're just being cautious because the environment or something about your stability is changing. We'll see what that is, or like how it's changing. Singer of Intuition. This card has been coming up a lot. So it talks about receiving sort of like a sign or symbol of something that's meant for you, right? Something that's like on your path, something that you are meant to accomplish. Again, so you could be seeing a lot of signs and symbols. Or things that are just like really drawing your attention for whatever reason, but perhaps you don't know necessarily what it means yet. Because I'm kind of it's kind of feeling like receiving like a download, or like having a strange dream, or but it's like you don't necessarily know what it means yet, because I feel like there's something about like if it were to be told to you directly, or I'll just leave it like that. If it were to be said to you as it is, you wouldn't believe it, is how it's coming through. Or like it would be, it's like something that seems so far out there that it would be dismissed immediately, is how it's feeling. That's so it's kind of coming in slowly, is how it's like little by little. And it's like, so it's kind of like you have time to adjust to it, is how it's feeling. Fairies of the Future. That's coming out under the fear card. So maybe there's some fear about the future. That's what that's so maybe anxiety, right? And then you have Singer of Healing and the fairy that was kissed by the pixies at the bottom of the deck. So perhaps you're healing something about love or reciprocity, especially with the Singer of sorry, the fairy that was kissed by the pixies. This card talks to me about like, well, the phrase that comes through with this one is always like a metaphorical open heart surgery. So it's kind of like there's something being fixed or mended, perhaps in terms of your heart chakra. So it could be that, it could be in relation to a mentor or something like that, who is helping to mend some sort of heart wound, is how it's coming through. I want to read what the Fairies of the Future says, because that one always has sort of like an interesting message. So these are the fairies of a bright future and are essential companions on any journey. When these fairies appear, it is time to consider where we have been and where we wish to go. There are many opportunities, many potentials, and we must choose a path and then take realistic, practical steps to bring the desired future into being. This is not a time to wait for things to come to us, but to step forward boldly to meet them. We may do this alone if we wish, or in the company of those who share our goals and dreams. So it's about co-creating the future with the universe, which is really lovely, but it's coming up with fear. It's kind of coming through as having like so much, like so many options now opening up that it's like, where do we go from here? Like what do we start with is how that's feeling to me. Like, what do we start with? I feel like someone's like writing a list down of like all the things that they want to do. And it's like, which one do we start with? That's not a bad problem to have, I think, but yeah, there's a lot. The rabbit. Yeah, there's a lot of energy here. So this card talks about worries or anxieties about potentially negative things happening, right? With the fear card. So totally valid, right? Like that's a very normal response. But I feel like there's sort of an energy of needing to like find a way to ground that energy, because this is an earth animal. So it's coming through as being sort of like because I feel like with rabbits, they can be they're very quick, but it's also like whenever I see a rabbit in the backyard and like I open the screen door, it freezes for a moment, right? And so instead of jolting off immediately, it freezes. So perhaps there's that kind of energy of like freezing or like not being able to do anything is kind of how it's coming through, because there may be anxiety about that. It's like because movement is feeling kind of like which direction do I go, right? Like that it kind of feels like that, like what do I do next? Just felt like something cold on my elbow. That's weird. I'm a vulture. Okay, this card talks about a purification of something in the environment as well. I actually feel like the way that it's coming out is rabbit under intuition and vulture under fairies of the future, but it actually feels like flipped to me. Because of the purple, right? So this is an energy of purification. I feel like though it's actually coming through as like this is sort of like the mentor or like somebody that you're connected to. I feel like who is an ally of some sort. They're helping you with something. And because it's coming through with all of this like purple energy with the intuition, they may actually be helping to clear something from your third eye is how it's feeling to me. Like it's like so there may have been like an excess of emotions in the third eye is how it's coming through. Like, you know, when you're just feeling like perhaps like really tired or exhausted or emotional, it could affect how you see things and how you look towards the future as well, right? Like, because the third eye is about like forward vision, future vision. And so if it's kind of feeling like there's like something about the third eye is draining or clearing out, or like with the vulture, perhaps with the help of somebody, even if it's not like they don't have to necessarily be like a spiritual teacher. It could just be somebody that you're connected to, that you're spending time with perhaps, or that you're learning something from, like a new skill, who is helping to clear something about your vision, perhaps about like how you see yourself or how you see yourself within a particular environment is how that's feeling. I do feel though that there's so it's kind of like the way that it's looking to me, the way that these cards came out is like this, right? Where it's kind of like the vulture is standing inside this door here. I don't necessarily feel that it is I don't necessarily feel that they're blocking your way forward. It kind of feels like to me they're actually like trying to give you like a pep talk or something, or like providing reassurance in a way that is not necessarily overbearing. It feels more like on some level they perhaps can feel that there's anxiety about this transition is how it's feeling to me, and they may be trying to help to clear that before allowing you to move forward is how it's feeling. It could be I was getting this energy of like you know, people who go parachuting. Is that the right word? Skydiving. That's what it feels like. Skydiving. It's like this one is sort of like the guide or the mentor or the one who's strapped to you, right? Like, so it's like the door's open. It feels kind of like the door's open and it's like, are you ready? Because like you're about to jump through some sort of like portal or about to go skydiving. What's the bottom of the deck energy? The moth. Emergence is what I just heard with that. Interesting, and that's coming out with caution as well. Because it could be something to do with lessons. That's not the right word, but how love is structured is how it is coming through. Like you need a receptacle for it, right? It's because it's like if we're using water as the metaphor for this love energy that is coming through here, it's kind of like you need a cup to hold it, right? It's kind of feeling like that, especially if there has been any sort of like tough lessons in love or boundaries or something, or like at the bottom of the deck, Four of Cups. This to me talks about sort of like quote unquote contaminated water or emotions, that kind of thing, where it can sort of like leave a stain or that kind of thing. So I feel like that's what's healing. But now there's sort of this energy of caution, right? Like being very cautious about love or how it is structured. King of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. So that's you, Virgo, King of Pentacles, right? That's interesting. For a minute, I forgot this was a Virgo reading because these are both earth signs, right? So I'm seeing this as you, King of Pentacles. But with the rabbit here, it feels kind of like... I feel like anxiety is not the right description for it. It feels kind of like perhaps it has something to do with like feeling rushed about something, like feeling like you don't have enough time to complete something, right? It's like or accomplish something. I don't know what that is, but I feel like here it's really emphasizing again with the Three of Wands. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that for now because I feel like there's something else here. But it does feel... Okay, so because it's coming through with this sort of purple and red color, it's bringing in third eye and the root, right? So third eye is vision, which is also this card, the Three of Wands. And also, like, connected to the root in terms of, like, earthly things, like material things, physical things, where it's, like, trying to figure out how to put your plans into it doesn't feel like action, but it feels like things or earth in whatever way that is. So anyways, Virgo, I feel like there's somebody who's trying to help to clear the vision of that, like, because I feel like you are absolutely capable of whatever it is that you're trying to manifest with the King of Pentacles. That is how you are showing up here. But I feel like perhaps your self-image maybe, or like how you see yourself is sort of in this like it's like the words complete, like I have a clear phrase, but I don't, it doesn't feel right to me. That's why I'm not like speaking it. It feels like, yeah, it's that. It's like panic. perhaps there is something to do about like naming it, like okay, it might be something like that. Maybe you're trying to put a name to something, or like you're trying to do, perhaps there's like an energy here of like trying to do something, like a particular task or whatever it is, but it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like the right action, or it doesn't look right, or it doesn't there's something off about it, is how it's just feeling to me. But it's like how I'm seeing you, Virgo, is this, the King of Pentacles. I feel, so it could be something to do about like even your body is how it's coming through, like feeling uncertain about, I don't know, something physical. It could be related to your body, but it doesn't have to be. It could also just be the things around you, or your belongings, or the Fool coming out underneath the King of Pentacles, and then the Ten of Wands, which is so interesting. So this is the fear energy, right? I feel like here with the Fool, I think that you are going through sort of like some sort of like healing process that has to do with like your self-image, or how you see yourself is how it's coming through. But that perhaps came from how another person from your past saw you that had a negative impact, is how it's feeling. Like perhaps you had somebody from your past, whoever this is for you, who projected a really negative image onto you maybe. And perhaps there was some like internalization of that negative self-image that they projected onto you that you're now clearing, is how it's coming through with the Fool. But then the next step here is coming through is the Ten of Wands. I feel like it's not that, right? It's because the Ten of Wands talks about having a lot of burden, but today, especially from this deck, it kind of just talks to me like there's not a lot known about this situation, at least for right now. Because I feel like you're co-creating with the universe, right? Like you're trying to create something. The universe is supporting you. But it's like, where do we start? Where do we start? So Daughter of Cups. Start anywhere is how it's going through. Start with something that feels right to you. Here with so here's another rainbow reflection. So much rainbow energy, and the Two of Pentacles. Right after that, more rainbow energy. So I would say, like, whatever it is that is inspiring to you, and it can be small. It can be small is what's going to do. Like, start small. As I was saying, Six of Swords. Interesting, because it kind of looks like there might be this perspective here of like whatever challenge it is that's ahead of you, or whatever project or whatever it is that you're co-creating. It's like It looks like a big pile of mess sounds going through, or that there's just a lot of it, that there is just kind of like overwhelming with the amount of things that are perhaps coming through, or that you have a list of things that you want to do, or that kind of thing. But I'm seeing this as being sort of like a different perspective on that, because it's almost like this pile of things gets more manageable when you look at it with this sort of Daughter of Cups energy. I feel like this is... So this card talks about creativity and imagination, but also the sort of like very, very creative, very playful. Like, so it could be something like finding what inspires you. So whatever that is. So it could be color, but it doesn't have to be that for you. That's just an example of like working with a specific color maybe, or like I feel like color coding is a really like Virgo energy, so maybe that could help. And like you color code things and then start with one color, maybe, I don't know. Something like that. That's just sort of how it's coming through. Like today is where we do all the red things, or today's where we do all of the green, or whatever. So maybe organizing something, or like categorizing something by color is how it's feeling. Doesn't have to be color, that's just an example. You can, whatever it is that brings you joy, right? Like like putting like stickers on something, or like, I don't know, whatever it is for you, Virgo. No, it's not that one. Okay, Two of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay, so under Two of Pentacles, you have Judgment. So, well, it's so interesting the way that these cards are coming out, because it's kind of like we're starting here, Ten of Wands, then it's kind of like the problem gets slightly smaller, right? And then with the Judgment, completely breaking free of something is how that's coming through. So it's a really strong and steady progression with the Two of Pentacles as well, because this card talks to me about like getting something in balance is how it's coming through. The next couple cards are really interesting, but so getting something in balance, I feel like there's getting something balanced, I should say. But at the same time, you're emerging, or some aspect of yourself is emerging, is how it's coming through. Okay, the next couple of cards, which is really interesting. There's more here with the Two of Pentacles. That's what it's coming through. Like, again, it's like, it's feeling like, I wish I could explain that better. That's sort of how it's feeling to me, but that might be like how you're feeling about whatever it is you're doing or trying to do. It's like, I wish I could do that better, or I wish I could like express that better or do better job with it. And it's like, don't, like, I feel like whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, you are doing what it is that it needs to do. It's accomplishing a certain, it's accomplishing what it needs to. The message is getting across. But anyways, so the next couple of cards, you have the Tower and the Emperor card, which is so interesting to me. This, like, the way that these cards are coming out, because of, like, the inverted image, the inverted colors. Because I feel like there's something here about, like, because this is a sun reading, so the Emperor coming out, that's absolutely your energy, right? This is you sort of standing in your power, or like doing something or accomplishing something, or just like knowing who you are is how it's feeling to me. This Tower energy actually feels like something where somebody's perception of you that feels like a negative perception is being demolished, is how it's feeling. Like the way that they perceive you is changing, or the way that they projected negative information is what I just heard. They projected negative information on you is changing, or that it's being broken down. Especially if it's like somebody's like projected negative energy onto you. Even if it's not true, that can still have an impact on how you see yourself if you're not sort of like conscious of like your own truth, or like who you are and that kind of thing. So it's like there may be somebody who is actively or not, perhaps from the past, but I'm not sure. Sorry, just being reminded of this story. Anyways, I feel like that's being demolished, is how it's feeling to me. Anyways, there's a story coming through with this combination of cards. This story, when I was in high school, I like had just done like an English project with a group. We had to like do like a skit for Shakespeare or whatever it was. And anyway, so we had done our presentation, and I went to the bathroom just to take a break. And while I was in the stall, 2 other people from my class came into the bathroom, not knowing that I was there, and started to express negative thoughts about my group's presentation. Basically just saying that we didn't work hard enough, that we sort of like took it easy, or like that we didn't do as much work as other groups and that kind of thing. Like just negative opinions on their perception of our work, right? So it could be something like that, where it's like if I had taken that personally, I would see myself as being sort of like not a hard worker, or not like whatever it is, whatever the perception is. That's just an example that it's trying to come through to like illustrate how somebody else's perception on you, especially if they communicated to you that directly, can impact our own self-image. But it's coming through like this, where it's like perhaps they're projecting, right? Like it's kind of coming through like that. And I feel like that might be part of like why there's this feeling perhaps of like whatever it is, like it's like that whatever it is that you're doing or trying to accomplish is like you're not doing enough, when you absolutely are, is how that's feeling to me. You have Temperance at the bottom of the deck with the 4 of Cups again. This card keeps coming through. So it could be something as well about like somebody else's dissatisfaction about their own work is being projected onto you. So don't take that personally. And also, the Temperance card to me talks about being able to transform an experience, right? And it was so funny after that happened, I came out of the stall while they were still in the bathroom, and they immediately backtracked because they didn't know that I was in there. Anyways, I found that extremely hilarious. So I'm going to end it there, Virgo. I hope that was helpful for you. If this resonated, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. It helps so much. Thank you for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.